Do not swim alone. Swimming alone is dangerous and swimmers can encounter hazards in the water. Also, swimmers can get sick or have cramps as a result of fatigue and dehydration that make it difficult for them to swim. They can also underestimate their strength and swim too far from shore. A person should never go swimming alone. It does not matter how well they can swim. Do not swim just after eating. After a meal, blood will be diverted away from our arms and legs and towards our stomach's digestive tract. This causes our limbs to not get enough blood flow to function and we put ourselves at a risk of drowning. Another reason is because swimming is a vigorous exercise and after eating, it can cause discomforts such as heartburn and vomiting.
Swimming while tired or hot. Now, the first reason why we shouldn't swim while tired or hot is that the body doesn't get the opportunity to get rid of heat as quickly as it should. Because we're in the water, it prevents the body from expelling heat, which may potentially lead to muscle spasms and cardiac arrhythmias.
Why not swim in strange new places? Well, for one reason, you are far less likely to encounter any wildlife that may pose of any threat to you. Jellyfish in particular. All jellyfish sting, but not all have venom that hurts people. When on the beach, take note of jellyfish warning signs. Also, this affects your own personal safety. In an unfamiliar environment, you are at a higher risk of drowning. Right now, you are without knowledge of the area, its safety measures, and the beach hazards, such as rip currents and breaking waves. This can lead to a variety of bad choices.
Your body temperature may drop. When your body um, stays in the water for a certain amount of time, your body temperature changes. And if you stay in the water too long, your body might start to experience something called hypothermia, which causes the body temperature to drop and your muscles would not be receiving sufficient blood or oxygen for the muscles to continue working. And this is a problem because you need your muscles to work efficiently while in the water. And if it is you have less control of your body while in the water, you may also come into some difficulties. So every now and again you should come out the water, play in the sand, get some sun, warm up the body again. And if you want to and if you have enough energy, you can go back and continue enjoying your sea bath.
The temptation of swimming out into the open ocean is very high, especially among young individuals. However, it is important to remember that muscles fatigue quickly when swimming because of the added resistance the water provides. Swimming extended distances into the ocean can rapidly fatigue muscles, increasing the probability of encountering difficulties. Secondly, the ocean are filled with many creatures and remains one of the most unexplored species on Earth. Swimming into the ocean can lead persons to encounter unknown creatures that may perceive them as a threat or even as a meal, placing them in situations that is far dangerous. Locally, the borders of Trinidad and Tobago are infamous for facilitating the trade of illegal guns and drugs. Oftentimes, encounters, whether on purpose or by accident with the individuals of these illegal activities, result in death. Hence, it is unadvised to swim out into the ocean where these individuals reside.
For what reason is there to swim close to and parallel to the shore? If you are not a good swimmer or an experienced swimmer, you may tire easily, but because you are of close proximity to the shore, you can call for someone on the beach for help. Being close by means you are within viewing range of a lifeguard and can receive quick assistance.
Persons are advised to swim close and parallel to the shore for one main reason: rip currents. Rip currents are strong, narrow currents flowing outwards from the beach through the wave and surf zone to the open sea. These arrows highlight the passage of the current. Now, rip currents occur where there are depressed areas in the ocean floor, creating a zone of low pressure that pulls sand and debris off the shoreline into the water. They are responsible for 85% of the saves made by lifeguards and are the number one factor that causes difficulties when swimming. Now, escaping rip currents are fairly simple. Persons are advised to swim parallel to the shoreline or perpendicular to the current. If we resolve the forces in this diagram shown here, we can see that this is our shoreline, right? This is the swimmer. The swimmer is parallel to the shoreline. Now, this is the force that is applied by the rip current in this direction. If we resolve these two forces, we end up with a resultant of this dotted line. Now, why is this important? Originally, the swimmer's trajectory was this distance away from the shoreline. However, after being affected by the rip current, this is the new trajectory of the swimmer. This is important as many persons pass through rip currents without realizing it until they notice how far they are from the shoreline. Initially, this was the distance of this swimmer from the shoreline. Now this is the distance. That is why it is important to be aware when we are swimming in the ocean. Another way of escaping rip currents is by floating along the current. However, Rip currents are usually resolved miles offshore, and this method of escaping rip currents is not advised, since the person can be transported miles off the shore and then have to swim back to shore. Right? Another reason why it is important to swim close and parallel to the shoreline, in case you are caught in a rip current and are fatigued from the swimming activities you've been performing, it is easier to signal persons on the shoreline to get help or be rescued. Thank you. The orders of a lifeguard is very important and may potentially save your life. Lifeguards undergo stringent and analytic training, meaning they are able to identify situations where persons may potentially encounter difficulties while swimming. Hence, it is important to heed their advice and follow it stringently, as they are professional lifesavers when it comes to swimming and water-related activities. Air mattresses are very relaxing and often result in persons falling asleep on them or disregarding the distance they float away from the shoreline. These instruments can result in persons being transported far distances into the sea and ultimately becoming lost. They drift with the currents of the water, hence they are able to transport persons very far, very quickly. Secondly, air mattresses float very well when inflated with air. However, if an air mattress is compromised and deflates, it can quickly turn into an instrument of disaster. A deflated air mattress can seriously inhibit a person's ability to swim, since it can act as a blanket that stifles and covers the individual underwater.
Why pay attention to signs by beaches and pools? Well, one benefit is that it helps you avoid hazards. Beach warning signs, for instance, are posted by safety officials at lifeguard protected beaches to alert and warn beachgoers of hazardous conditions. Being a bully means having no consideration for other beachgoers. Blasting loud music, shaking off or throwing sand near others, and littering. By following certain etiquette, you are showing consideration to others around you, and it makes it easier for others to approach you and make new friends.
Hi, good day. My name is Ayana Glasgow, and I'm here to talk to you about one, why it's important to learn to use equipment, and two, why it's important to learn basic life support. 1. Along with the fun of swimming, there are also dangers. Most equipment used when swimming is for safety and assistance. The incorrect use of this equipment can lead to increased risk of danger. Secondly, having life-saving equipment without the knowledge of how to use it effectively would be useless. Also, the incorrect use of equipment can lead to the loss of someone's life. Second, why it's important to learn basic life support. Basic life support skills is required when a person experiences cardiac distress, have a block in the airway, or needs CPR, whether it's mouth-to-mouth or chest compressions, which can occur while swimming. Having this